Abu Dhabi is the capital and the second most populous city in the United Arab Emirates, the most populous being Dubai, and also capital of Abu Dhabi Emirate, the largest of the UAE's 7-member emirates. Abu Dhabi lies on a T-shaped island jutting into the Persian Gulf from the central western coast. The city proper had a population of 1.5 million in 2014. Abu Dhabi houses federal government offices, is the seat of the United Arab Emirates Government, home to the Abu Dhabi Emiri Family and the President of the UAE, who is from this family. Abu Dhabi's rapid development and urbanisation, coupled with the relatively high average income of its population, has transformed the city into a large and advanced metropolis. Today the city is the country's center of political and industrial activities, and a major cultural and commercial center, due to its position as the capital. Abu Dhabi accounts for about 2/3 of the roughly $400 billion United Arab Emirates economy. Abu Dhabi is the fourth most expensive city for expatriate employees in the region, and in 2014 was the 68th most expensive big city in the world. Abu Dhabi is full of archaeological evidence that points to civilizations, such as the Amarna culture, having been located there from the 3rd millennium BCE. Settlements were also found farther outside the modern city of Abu Dhabi but closer to the modern city of Al Ain. There is evidence of civilizations around the mountain of Hafit, Jebel Hafit. This location is very strategic because it is the UAE's second tallest mountain, so it would have great visibility. It also contains a lot of moisture in its springs and lakes, which means that there would have been more moisture thousands of years ago. Origin of the name Abu Dhabi. The origin of the name Abu Dhabi is uncertain. Meaning father of the gazelle, when literally translated from Arabic, it probably referred to the few gazelles that inhabit the emirate. According to Baal Labdor, Assistant Undersecretary for Cultural Affairs at the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Community Development, the area had a lot of daiba, deer, plural, and was nicknamed after that. An old story tells about a man who used to chase deer, dhabi, deer, singular, and was named the father of the animal. Abu Dhabi's original name was Mile Salt, possibly referring to the salty water of the Persian Gulf, or the ancient salt marshes that surround the city. Some Bedouins called the city Dhabi, mother of deer, while British records refer to the place as Abu Dhabi. According to some historical accounts, the name Abu Dhabi was first used more than 300 years ago. The first word of Abu Dhabi is pronounced Bu by inhabitants on the city's western coast. In the eastern part of the city, the pronunciation is Abu. Origins of the Al Nahyan family. The Bani Yas Bedouin were originally centered on the Liwa Oasis. This tribe was the most significant in the area, having over 20 subsections. In 1793, the Al-Bufala subsection migrated to the island of Abu Dhabi on the coast of the Persian Gulf due to the discovery of fresh water there. One family within this section was the Al Nahyan family. This family makes up the rulers of Abu Dhabi today. Pearl trade. Abu Dhabi worked in the pearl business and traded with others. According to a source about pearling, the Persian Gulf was the best location for pearls. Pearl divers dove for 1 to 1.5 minutes, and would have dived up to 30 times per day. There were no oxygen tanks and any other sort of mechanical device was forbidden. The divers had a leather nose clip and leather coverings on their fingers and big toes to protect them while they searched for oysters. 10. The divers were not paid for a day's work but received a portion of the season's earnings. Trucial Coast. In the 19th century, as a result of treaties, known as truces which gave the coast its name, entered into between Great Britain and the sheikhs of the Arab states of the Persian Gulf, Britain became the predominant influence in the area. The main purpose of British interest was to protect the trade route to India from pirates, hence the earlier name for the area, the Pirate Coast. After piracy was suppressed, other considerations came into play, such as a strategic need of the British to exclude other powers from the region. Following their withdrawal from India in 1947, the British maintained their influence in Abu Dhabi as interest in the oil potential of the Persian Gulf grew. First oil discoveries. In the 1930s, as the pearl trade declined, interest grew in the oil possibilities of the region. On January 5, 1936, Petroleum Development, Trucial Coast, Limited, PDTC, an associate company of the Iraq Petroleum Company, entered into a concession agreement with the ruler, Sheikh Shakbat bin Sultan Al Nahyan, to explore for oil. This was followed by a 75-year concession signed in January 1939. However, owing to the desert terrain, inland exploration was fraught with difficulties. In 1953, Darcy Exploration Company, the exploration arm of BP, obtained an offshore concession which was then transferred to a company created to operate the concession. Abu Dhabi Marine Areas, ADMA, was a joint venture between BP and Compagnie Française des Pétroles, later Total. In 1958, using a marine drilling platform, the ADMA Enterprise, oil was struck in the Sheikh field at a depth of about 8,755 feet, 2,669 meters. This was followed in 1959 by PDTC's onshore discovery well at Murban No. 3. In 1962, the company discovered the Buhasa field and ADMA followed in 1965 with the discovery of the Zakam offshore field. Today, in addition to the oil fields mentioned, the main producing fields onshore are Asab, Sahel and Shah, and offshore are Al Bundyug, and Abu al Bukush. Pictorial essay of Old Abu Dhabi. In 1904, German explorer, Hermann Burchard, took many photographs of historical sites in Abu Dhabi, photos that are now held at the Ethnological Museum of Berlin.